All right, we're live. We've got a couple of people already joined us. So, hi everyone. I'm Aaron Shimmons. Welcome to Trail Talk Live with Rich Lockwood, Norda athlete, sitting in Madeira. How are you feeling ahead of the big adventure this weekend?
I'm feeling really good, man. Feeling like pretty relaxed and super excited. After only being here a couple days, this place is amazing. I can't wait to get out and run across the entire thing.
Yeah, such a cool race and like an iconic race now at this stage. You know, so many of the greats have done this and led on to big seasons.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big race to do early in the season. So yeah, I think if you could perform well here, it just can really like show that yeah, you're about to maybe do something special with the rest of your season if you're feeling good
Yeah.
here early on.
So, for first time viewers or people tuning in, the format of the show is simple. We talk to elite athletes ahead of big races and ask three topics: race strategy, gear, and nutrition. So, we will, and then obviously, we're going to come back and recap on this. Hopefully on Sunday, but we'll see how how you're feeling. But we do a recap show and touch on how did all this stuff sort of transpire and unfold. So let's start off with race strategy. Like, what is your style of racing? Maybe we could start there. You know, are you gonna gun it from the start, stick with the pack, see how you feel? What's your strategy?
Yeah, I think my strategy kind of changes based on the style of the race and the distance of the race. And for something like this, I don't think gunning it out the gate is going to work well for me. So yeah, my plan is going to kind of just stick with the pack, key off other people who I know run smart races to like yeah keep things controlled, especially yeah for the first half of the race. From all I've heard, and from the elevation profile of this race, like it doesn't seem like it's good for you to go out and really like smash the quads on these huge climbs and descents because there's still a good bit of running to be done in this race, and the move to be made I feel like is probably towards the end. So I'm probably gonna try to keep things as chill as I can for as long as I can, and still maintain contact, and then yeah, try to force things
And
on.
for you staying chill, does that mean using a heart monitor? Are you going by RPE? What's your sort of what are the metrics you're sort of touching in on?
Yeah, just RPE going off. Yeah, just what I because just being in tune with myself from what I've done in training and feeling. Yeah, I don't use a heart rate monitor, so yeah, it'll be more intuitive than that.
So in terms of RPE, I find a lot of people in ultras, not elites, you guys know what you're doing, but a lot of regular guys, they're frightened of the distance, they're frightened of the time, they're frightened of exerting themselves too much. Whereas I think you guys know that you can hammer it a little bit and recover. So where are you sort of flexing that RPE up to?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'll flex it more on downhills than I will on uphills early on in the race. I'll probably try to keep my the RPE, at a 7 or so, and on especially on the climbs, I don't want to really be maxing myself out. Yeah, somewhere in
So like seven, I think of a seven as like getting towards lactate, staying below lactate, but still like proper effort.
there.
Cool. That's good racing, man. That's good. That's good racing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe yeah, maybe I'll be lower than that. Yeah, especially in the beginning. Yeah, I know that there will be a lot of adrenaline in the beginning, and like I said, yeah, I really want to keep things more maintained. So yeah, yeah, maybe it'll be more towards 5.
And with the fact that it's a midnight start, how does that sort of what sort of strategies do you have in your own mind thinking about this? You know, midnight start. How do you gauge that?
Yeah, it'll be my first midnight start race, so it'll be interesting. Um, I'm kind of approaching it like I work in healthcare and I work overnight shifts, so I'm kind of approaching it like going into working an overnight shift. So, you know, I'll try to get a good sleep in before the race, like in the afternoon, and then just treat it like the morning when I'm getting up for the race. And then from all I've heard, it seems like people will kind of start to hit a wall or feel a little bit sleepy around 3, 4 a.m. But you'll come back once the sun comes up and circadian rhythm comes around. So I'm kind of just gonna keep that in the back of my mind to just know, like, keep pushing. Even if you start feeling tired, like, the sun's gonna come up and it'll give you a boost, and then you'll be running well again. So
Yeah,
that's
that
yeah.
sort of witching hour seems to be in and around the 4 a.m. and then
Mhm.
you're starting to get close to dawn and get a sniff of the sun coming up. So yeah, that's a funny time. Will you be taking? I know it's with the midnight start. It's a funny one. Like, how will you think about caffeine? Will you try to take a boost from that during the early hours of the morning, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I might take. Yeah, That's probably the earliest on that I'll start taking it, is in the early hours of the morning. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so moving on to nutrition, and then we'll come to gear afterwards. Do you have like a carb or calorie goal? I know you're sponsored by Spring, so do you want to
Yeah.
maybe just touch on that and what sort of products you'll be using?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be sticking to try to get like 3 to 400 calories in an hour and about 60 to 80 grams of carbs. So I'll be taking a lot of awesome sauce. I love that gel and it goes down smooth. And then I'll also be using their drink mix, which is 200 calories in a bottle. Um, and and then I'll supplement with some of the bigger power snacks, which are like a 310 calorie, like, large pouch gel. Um, Forgetting how many
Is that
grams
is
it is
that like
off
the
the top
Wolf
of my head
Pack?
here. Yeah, like the wolf pack. Yeah, and
Okay,
there's two
yeah.
different flavors of them now. Yeah, yeah. There's
All right, I haven't. I've
yeah.
only had the original one, whatever. I forget what flavor that
I think
was.
it's like pineapple, papaya. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just came out with a strawberry matcha one that's really good too, that I'll be taking as well.
Okay. And will so you're going to be carrying both bottles will have nutrition rather than just straight water. Is that right?
I usually do one bottle of nutrition and one bottle of water. Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
we'll see on some of the longer stretches. There's, I think, the fourth and fifth gap between aid stations is like 15K. Um, so I might try to mix more calories into bottles between those aid stations.
and will you touch it all on anything from aid stations? Maybe a wee sip of Coke.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure I will.
Ultra
Coke
fuel of
is
the
always
gods.
good. Yeah, exactly.
What's an ultra without a cup of Coke?
Right? No, yeah, yeah. They'll definitely be taking some of that. Probably bananas, whatever else they have. Yeah, to change things up. It's a long race.
So do you have crew or will you have a drop bag?
So. I'll have a drop bag. There's just one drop bag spot. So yeah, I'll
That's
be
quite
having to
far into the
carry
race,
quite a
isn't it?
bit. It is, yeah. I think I I didn't get to verify this, but one of my teammates told me that I think it's the one at the observatory, which is pretty far into the
I think
race.
it's 60 something K.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Yeah. So um, Jason, who's also out here racing, has crew, and it might work out. I just that I can also put some stuff with his crew if we're running close enough together. It remains to be seen, yeah, how we're gonna be able to work that out. So I might end up carrying a lot.
Okay, cool. And then just closing out on the nutrition piece, will you be thinking about sodium at all? I mean, have you had the sweat test? Do you know what your I don't know what the term is, exertion the what do we call that? Like your
I
the,
don't know. Never been able.
your sodium sweat rate or whatever it is. What can you tell me about sodium?
Yeah, I haven't gotten into the weeds with my sweat rate or how much sodium I need to be taking for me personally, but just through racing ultras, I've found, if it's I mean it's actually pretty fresh, and I've been pleasantly surprised at like the cool breeze here on the island, but it's still humid and we'll be sweating a lot. So I have salt pills, and I'll just be taking one SCAP an hour once, probably deeper into the race, like once the sun comes up and things start warming up.
And that's like 350 milligrams or something per cap,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
Okay, cool. All right, moving on to gear. I see BA in the chats wanting to know you're running in the prototype Norda
yeah,
or the O01. So give us some Norda hype here.
yeah. I wish I was running in the prototypes, but I'm going to be running in the O1s. Yeah, the original.
I think that Kush might be better for these super steep descents anyway. The prototype looks a bit slimmer.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but it's almost a little bit softer than the original 001. So I'm a little bit bummed that I don't have one to race in, but yeah, the 001s I've got are in like the perfect spot as far as being broken in, and they're going to be really great for the race.
What is that perfect spot just for reference for
For
you?
yeah, for me, I like at least like a 50K on them, maybe like a little bit more than that, and then it feels like really great as far as from like stiffness of the upper and then like softness of the midsole feels really perfect. Like I feel really stable, but also like feel that cushion.
Yeah, the O01 is like it's like a pair of jeans, you know, like a nice pair of jeans that you have. Every time you stick them on, you're like, oh yeah, these feel good. Doesn't matter how many miles you got in them. They just have that sort of
Yeah,
feel about them. Um, so it's probably a stupid question for another athlete, but I'm taking it you're not going to have like a backup shoe or swapping into a different pair. It's going to be one shoe for the race and maybe a sock change, or what can you say on that?
yeah, exactly. Like I brought another pair of O01s with me, but since these ones are fairly new, I doubt there's any reason why I'm gonna need to change. But yeah, I'll have socks as well for a sock change if I need to.
And then moving on to pack, what pack will you be using? What sort of weight is it going to be?
Good question. I should have weighed it.
You
Yeah,
have
I'm just
time.
using the yeah, I'm just using the Solomon 5 set, 5 liter, whatever that pack is.
Okay.
The mandatory gear list is pretty slim for this race, which is nice. Um, so I've been running with my mandatory kit on most long runs, and it feels really comfortable.
What, so you don't have to carry leggings, long sleeve
Exactly.
top, backups.
Yeah, exactly. You don't feel like a hermit crab running down the trail.
If there's anything to put you off running an ultra, it's sometimes the weight of the pack you have to run with. I was chatting to a guy and he's doing Cocodona, and they're for the first section they're recommending 5 to 6 liters of fluid for the first section. I'm like, I wouldn't even want to. Why would any like before the rest of the gear? You've got 5 kilos, 6 kilos in your back.
Same. Wow.
That's like forget the distance. That would put me off running Cocodona,
Yeah.
not the distance. Like carrying six
Yeah.
liters of water in my back. Um, then just in terms of like what you'll have in the drop bag or with crew, will you be swapping anything out of that? Will you do a quick pack swap, or will you? What sort of backups and things will you have?
Yeah, I just brought the one vest. I won't do any vest swaps, but I'll be doing quick bottle swaps. Bottles ready, and just like a pouch of gels that I can just grab and then stuff in my vest as I go.
Okay, and what about socks? Just to touch on that, a lot of people are using Injinji, and I think using Injinji and on Madeira, you're probably going to lose the toes in them because it's so steep.
Yeah, these trails are wildly steep. That's crazy. I'm yeah, I think I've got some stance socks. I've got a pair of Chance socks that I've really been liking. I might run in those, but they're a little bit thinner, so I might stick with stance that have a little bit more thickness.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that is all we have for you. Thanks so much for giving us the time. We wish you all the best for the race, for the big adventure, the big mountain season opener. I think this is for the year, and look forward to recapping it. Hopefully on Sunday and diving into how it all went and how great of a run it was. Hopefully, so yeah, all the best, Rich, and we'll chat soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much, dude. Thanks for having me on.
See you later, mate.